ring theory. So we can send you the link to an article about this if you're interested, but ring theory was created by uh, an attorney who was a mediator working in partnership with a psychologist, and they came up with this idea. And the idea is that, just like we were talking about before, the person zero is in the middle. The authors of the article didn't use that term, but we put it here. And then one ring out from them is the point person. Maybe that's a spouse or a partner. Maybe it's a best friend. Maybe it's the sibling of the person zero. It could be lots of different people, right? The This is just an example of what happens on the outer rings. It's different for every individual. It doesn't have to look like these labels at all. But the idea is that if you think about where you are in this crisis relative to the person zero, there's these concentric circles. You are responsible for comforting into the center of the ring all the people who are more involved in the crisis than you. You're responsible for comforting them, not complaining to them. But you're totally allowed to have your own feelings about whatever's going on in your own stress and your struggle. You just need to express those to people farther away from the crisis than you. I This may sound really obvious, but I've seen so many examples where it's not happening. And I think often of sharing this slide once, and I was giving a talk, and one of the people in the audience said, that this was really validating for her because she was in treatment for breast cancer, and her sister was essentially her point person, although she didn't realize that term until that day. But she said, my sister is so afraid that I'm going to die, but every time I see her, she's just crying and she's expressing all of her fear, and I can't take that on right now. I'm having a hard enough time keeping myself strong here. I'm going to teach my sister, she said, about ring theory to encourage her to turn to other people for that support, because I care and I want to know, but I do not have the capacity to be her primary source of support while she is mine and I'm the person zero. So that is just a little more information I wanted you to be able to take with you and think about how that applies to your life. If you have people in your life who are complaining to you, kind of dumping on you, and you're more in a crisis than they are, or in the same crisis that they're complaining about than they are, feel free to educate them about ring theory and encourage them to get those needs met because they're important, but just let them know that's not something you can handle right at this moment.